Mr. Gerhard Heiberg, you are the organizer of the Olympic Games in Lillehammer 1994. What are your afterthoughts and feelings when you look back at this great achievement? Do you miss that period of your life?
I think it was perhaps the best time of my life. It was a lot of hard work. It was difficult. But at the end, when the president of the International Olympic Committee, Mr. Samaranch, said these were the best Winter Olympic Games ever, then I was very, very happy.
Okay, when you remember that time, what was the special issue? What you remember most?
It was trying to get the whole nation, all of Norway, interested and give them a feeling that we have an ownership to these games. We will support, we will help, we are there to be part of it. So I felt the whole nation took part. That's what we sent through television to the rest of the world. So I felt very enthusiastic and happy that things were going very well all the 16 days it lasted.
You joined Ocean Alliance in 2014. What made you to join the OACM and that time, more specifically, white flag? And how did our president convince you to do that?
I had a long time had a feeling that we were polluting the ocean. Norway has a very long coastline. I had seen a lot of people traveling out, throwing their garbage into the sea, and more plastics. And finally, somebody came along, and that was Christian Kurovic. And I felt finally there is a man who is interested in doing something about it. He seemed to be very honest, he was serious, he was enthusiastic, and I felt he needs some help. And then I said, if you want my help and support, I would like to join you and see what I can do to be part of your project. So it took me some time to convince myself, but after having talked to Christian sometimes, I was sure he is and will be the right man.
Okay, our president has been speaking very highly of you, and beside of OACM membership and a position, he sees that you're not only a role of his model, but his mentor, who has guided him through very difficult time last 10 years. Why do you think is that?
I think I have an experience in big projects, the process going on to try to make this a success. So I tried to give Christian some encouragement through what he was doing, trying to help him to outline what is necessary. We have to think long term, and you have to get the organization operational, find the right people, and then take the right steps. And Christian was willing to listen. So together, I think we outlined what was necessary. He did and he does the job, but he is willing to listen, and then it's okay for me to try and help.
Okay, in 2018, our president was wrongfully accused by a government opposition party journalist in Malta during the coastal certification, where a lot of people abandoned him. You defended him officially when his closest friend didn't. Why do you do that, and how does it interrupt this situation?
I have an experience that when you have a big project trying to conquer the whole world, like we had with the Olympic Games, there will always be some people looking for mistakes, errors, trying to criticize. So it was not something of an astonishment when in Malta he met some difficulties. It had to come at some stage. So then you try to calm things down. You have to continue and not to say this is too bad, we stop the project. It is part of a project, it's part of a big success that there will be difficulties on the road, which he had in Malta. and I think he has recovered very, very well from that. So we look forward and forget about what small mistakes on the way.
Okay, what do you think about today's media approach in general when it comes to broadcasting or writing of unchecked facts and stories? And what do you think in the long-term effect will be of such approaches? What can be done better?
Well, whether we like it or not, journalists are important people. They are important in every aspect. Yes, there will then come out some fake news. Some difficulties will arise, not always positive. That's part of the game. And it's part of a democracy that there are different opinions on what's happening. You have to cope with that. You have to accept it as part of the work you are doing, as part of the process you are involved in. So whether you like it or not, as I said, you have to accept that's happening and live with it and try to cope with it, not run away from it. You have to meet that and head on, and little by little, the mistakes will disappear and the world will be open for your thoughts and initiatives.
Okay, you just meaning you have to be persistent and you have to count on that kind of approaches.
Yes, you have to. When I have a project like that, you have to be sure that you see what's happening around you. Then there will always be some people, some organizations not online with you. But again, you have to face that. You have to talk to the people, discuss with the people, and hopefully get across what's right, what's not right, and keep working. And little by little, as I said, the ocean will open for you so you can continue your project.
Okay, back to OACM. Due to your lifelong experience, Mr. Surovic asked you a year back to please take a CEO position of the World Aqua Day, Ocean Cleanup, which was intended to become world's largest cleanup of the ocean in the world. Why do you think it's important to unite, making 195 nations together and take concrete action to ensure ocean health?
What I saw with Christian is he is thinking big. It's not a question of one country doing something or two countries or continent for that matter. It's the whole world we are talking about. So here you have to go together. You have to unite and say, this is a big challenge for everybody in this world. So let's unite, let's do this together. And that's the only way we can succeed in overcoming all the difficulties with the pollution of the ocean, of the waters around us. And that's what I saw in Christian. I felt he is going to make that. He is persistent, he is enthusiastic, he knows what he's doing, and that's what we need to conquer the world in this aspect, as I said.
As we saw in the past, we all know that we have to be united and some actions which are related to our planet, but it's still, we see that that's not the reality indeed. So people like thinking that always someone else will do something else for me.
Yes, I think the biggest challenge here is, as always, money. We need the right finances to do all of this. We need money. You cannot expect people to come out and work for free. It's much more into this project. So the basis has to be more money, to find sponsors, to find governments that are willing to invest, to see the possibility of really changing the world when it comes to protecting the oceans. And that has been the biggest challenge, in my opinion, and still is. So we have to work on this, and Christian is good with governments, with heads of state, and so on, because we need the basis to finance the operation in one country after the other in the coming years.
Okay, Mr. Tsurovic, meet you a few years back with your colleague, Mr. Ben Benson, and discussed the World Aqua Day opening ceremony. The idea with the opening ceremony was to give importance to all people in the world and divers who will contribute to this unique ocean cleanup. Such ceremony or small scale was opened by His Royal Prince Albert II of Monaco in 2014. What is your opinion on this ceremony importance, and how do you see it artistically?
I have seen the importance of an opening ceremony in all the Winter and Summer Olympic Games, for instance. It opens for the possibility for everybody to take part in what's going to happen. So when Christian came with this idea, I felt it was the right thing to unite in an opening ceremony using some of the best stars in the world to perform, so that you could get this out to the whole world. But of course, it costs a lot of money. And again, to finance this was a big difficulty. Christian wanted to have it in Saudi Arabia. I agreed 100%. I felt the Saudi government would be interested and sponsor this, because it would be a good thing for Saudi Arabia as well. But unfortunately, it didn't quite come true. But the idea is correct. We need something flashy to start every project. And that's what he thought, and the idea was good. But, well, it's never too late to do something like that again.
As mentioned earlier, Mr. Tsurovic sees your guidance through the creating process of World Aqua Days as crucial for him, for organization, and your mentorship. Do you believe the World Aqua Day will have the power to unite 195 nations to work united on the same day, same time as we managed with 60 nations in 2014?
Yes, I think so. You need people like Christian with their enthusiasm to coming out and try to do this on one day, as you mentioned. So I think the idea is great. And not only 60 countries, but 195. Yes, it's possible. It needs a lot of work, and the enthusiasm, as I said, Christian has that, his people have that. So let's try to get that through. 195 countries behind this, fantastic. That would really pave the way for the great possibilities, and hopefully for some more financing as well.
The World Aqua Day is just a part of OACM brand like White Flag, but all of the OACM effort and brands are based on concrete measure in ocean prevention, specifically plastic and marine debris extraction in a large scale. And this is being a process to establish with UN on global level. What do you think of this concrete segment? Is it very important?
I think this segment is very important. I think it's crucial for the success of the whole project, but there are many other details as well. So, but this is an important part, as I said, but hopefully we can think big enough in the coming years so that we get all parts of this project to go successfully into the future.
Mr. Tsurovic wanted to surprise you during the interview. He is in process to raise money for the World Aqua Day by setting the Guinness Scuba World Record in Dubai in June this year, July month this year, and first partners are already in place. So he will try to stay under the water for 2 or 3 days or longer to raise attention toward the ocean pollution and preservation. What are your thoughts and comments about this, as he will invite you to be there when he break out of water surface?
Thank you for the invitation. To be honest, I'm a little scared. We need Christian. This is a risky project he is going to go through to set the world record. We need him, as I said, so he has to take a balance here, not to overdo it, so he gets injured one way or another. So please tell him to be careful. I'll try to be there, but please also tell him don't overdo it, and then we can celebrate all this together.
We still need his without any injury to follow this, all the OACM organization to push it to become really what the organization is. So the record will be broadcast in entire Middle East, and record is just a mean of raising attention to promote higher purpose, but it also bears a healthy risk for Mr. Tsurovic. How far you think he is prepared to go making this record successful, and what effects can come out of it?
Of course, it will be very good news to the world, and world record. I will not try to guide him. I don't know enough about diving. But again, he has to be careful. We need him in the project. We need him for the future. So I would like to appeal to you that you try to tell him to take it easy. Be careful. We need you. So don't overdo it.
What do you personally think can be done better by head of the states to improve in general when it comes to ocean pollution and preservation of natural resources?
I think he is on the right track. I think he is leading the way. But at the same time, I am a little scared that he does not get enough finances to continue this. He needs the governments. He is trying very hard. Everybody sees the challenge. They want it to be a success. But then when you tell them to open up their pouches to give some money, then it stops, unfortunately. So we need to continue pushing on governments and companies to sponsor this, to help. And it's in the interest of everybody on the globe that this will be a success. So that is maybe the most important part we have to do something about if this is going to be a success. So we need to be very careful about getting the necessary finances on the way further here.
What do you think from a psychological perspective is the main problem why so little is being done on a global level in climate change problems and in ocean pollution also?
I think the world has started to understand the necessity to do something about climate changes, but again, to follow up. That goes for the governments everywhere. We need these 1.5 degrees, not to overdo that. So yes, now people understand, but there's a long way to go. We have to suffer on the way if we are going to reach our goals. And for people to do something themselves to help seems to be difficult. Nobody wants to change. I'm happy with my life. Why should I care? Others should do it. I take care of my own business. We have to open up where people see that also my contribution will be very interesting and necessary here. Otherwise, we will never reach these goals. So we have to keep working. We have to use United Nations and others, and ONCM, as we are talking about here, has a very important part in this. So again, they need the support also financially and their contribution to make this a successful adventure together.
What do you think? Is the climate change now the highest, challenges for the human nation? Because we hear a lot of talks and TV shows, and a lot of politicians speak about it. When is the crucial moment that people are try to really change and to give the time and effort in that topic?
Yeah, I think today that people have started to understand that here is perhaps the biggest challenge for humanity. So, yes, when you start understanding, you can do something about it. But the problem is each individual saying that, well, my contribution is not so important. Let others care about it. Let the government care. But we need everybody to understand also what I could do. I should do something about it. I have to cut out one thing or another to contribute to this. Then we are on the right track. We are not there yet, but I hope we will get there. So people need to continue working on it. We need people taking initiatives like Christian is doing, so that all together in 10, in 20 years, we will be there and we will say happily we did something about it, not only talking, but also action. And that's what needed very quickly these days.
What is your message to OACM future partners, head of the state, royal family, and the world decision makers in corporate sector and organization?
Please understand this project, see what it can do to help you, your country, your city, your population, not only understand, but also contribute to doing something about this. Let's work together. We need the money for it. We need people to come out and help on a free basis or being paid for it. But let's work together, and together we are going to succeed, and we will all be happy. And the next generations will also be happy that we did something about this.
On behalf of OACM, its members, and the president, we want to express a deep gratitude for being one of the first strong individuals who supported the development of our organization and credibility built up on almost a decade now. See you in Dubai at the Guinness World Scuba Record if your schedule allows you. And thank you, Gerhard, for your time and for your support.
And thank you very much for interviewing me. It has been very nice to talk to you. Good luck to you, and good luck to Christian and his project.
Thank you.
Thank you.